Hello, my loves. Long time no see. I've been sick for a little bit, so I've been away. Don't worry, it wasn't a mental institution or a booze bar. But after the video's done, I'm going to get into a little bit of what I'm wearing. Not much because I'm not a blogger. My daughter Ashley's here with me today. And Dora, my other daughter, is off saving whales, harpooning evil men with the Coast Guard. Yeah, she works for the Coast Guard. But we're going to start off with some advice letters, and one of them is called Married with a Problem, and Ash is going to read that right now.
Okay, hi, and the first one I'm gonna read. Okay, married with problems. Hi, Magnolia. I have been happily married in real life for the past 20 years. I am sad to say that 3 years ago my husband got into an accident, and I have been his full-time caregiver ever since. Our life together used to be so active. Vacations, trips to the movies, and camping. We used to have the best barbecues in the summertime. I miss it, Granny. He tires so easily, we are home 98% of the time, and that's how I found Second Life in you. The only time I get to socialize with other people is when I am logged into Second Life, and it has saved me in many ways. 2 months ago, I met a man. We have gone dancing and explored different Sims. We have not done anything sexual, and we have not talked about having a relationship together. But I still feel guilty. Am I doing something wrong? Am I cheating, Granny?
And we talked about some of this a little bit earlier, but I don't think it's cheating. And what do you think about it?
I don't think it's cheating. I just think she has to be aware of herself and maybe think about bringing him into things.
Yes, exactly that. And that's the problem, you know. You need to think about your significant other and what do they feel like they've lost. And I really am sorry about her husband. I wish him a speedy recovery. A situation like that isn't easy. And I bet for her it hasn't been easy for some time. But then again, marriage wasn't meant to be easy. I think she already knows, but I'm going to say it anyway. You never forget that your real life marriage comes first. And if you're hurting right now because you missed the way your marriage used to be, then you need to put yourself in the place of your significant other and think about how he feels and how much he misses the way things should be. Because if she's feeling that way right now, and he's the one that's, having to lie around the house all the time because he can't do much physically, then that has to have a big impact on him, mentally, physically. Um, but you really need to think about how he must be feeling right now. I love how Second Life has helped her get through this rough time, and it's a means for socializing. But, you have to ask, well, how does her husband socialize? And I'm not trying to take digs or trying to be nasty in any way, but she has Second Life to socialize, to relieve some stress and anxiety. But what does he have? Her husband's inside all the time. He's not able to do not even half of the things that he used to love to do. And she has an outlet, which is Second Life. So, how about making him an account? You go dancing together, you go exploring, you could try and at least get some romance back and get to know each other all over again and not in a caretaker, patient, situation. Try and get some mystery back there. Try and learn more about each other, because no matter how long you're married for, there's always something you don't know, and there's always something new to learn about the person that you're with. So I don't think that she was cheating, because all she was doing is going to, dancing places, going to explore with the person. She wasn't doing anything naughty with the person. um
Mm.
I think that the things that she was doing with this man, like all these PG things, were just things that she wished that she could do with her husband. But in all reality, she should have made her husband an account, and it's not too late to do that.
There's so much to do in Second Life. You can find something that he liked to do in real life or that you like to.
It's true. It's very true. There's so many things that they could do, and if he needs support of any kind, there's so many places that he could go for that. There's groups for that, for support. You know, may you're disabled, or if you a veteran, or if you have anxiety, you've been abused, you're an alcoholic, you used to be a drug user. There's groups for everything here nowadays. There's even support sims for things like that, to where people have meetings, you know, and they could talk about all these things openly without judgment. And it's a lot easier than having to go someplace in real life and sit in a group of strangers. And nothing against that, but sometimes it's easier for some people to do that on here.
And maybe you'll find a different type of relationship with him. Maybe you'll rekindle the romance in a different way.
That is true. That is true, you know. You get to surprise each other a little bit more. You know, you get to be creative with each other and see that side of one another. And there's not enough people in real life that take that time to learn all these different things about each other. They just take things for face value. You know, when over here you could kind of see things a bit more in depth when you actually talk so much and the communication's there, you know. So is it time for us to move on to Letter by Crow?
It's time.
Okay.
Okay, Letter by Crow. I watched your YouTube video of questions and concerns. I'm not sure if you still take questions for the future, but if you do, I have something to ask, and I don't know, but I feel like I can get a perspective from you. So for the past 9 years, I've been best friends online. After 9 amazing years, we finally lived together in real life. At first it was amazing. Little by little, we've been drifting apart. And I know it's because for almost 2 months we had to sleep in the same room until my bedroom was finished being renovated. Well, now we each have our own rooms, and everything is okay, sort of, but I don't know. She doesn't talk to me. We never hang out. I'm always the one to initiate the encounter or a conversation. I spoke to her once already and asked her if it was time for me to go my own way. She strongly disagreed and said no. That if I left her, I would be ending our friendship. She said she would be better, but nothing has changed. I really don't want to have to remind her how to be a friend. I have no one in this state. I literally have moved states to this one for her. So if I leave, it's going to be back home in another state. I don't want to end our friendship. I love her dearly like a sister, but I really, really am feeling lonely. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I know that you mentioned that you had a situation of your own like that, which we'll get to in a minute, but 9 years of friendship is a long time. And the thing that we have to remember about human relationships is that we are all always growing and forever evolving as individuals. So what might have worked for their relationship 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 9 years ago, is in the past, and it may not work for their current friendship now. You know, remember, you can't force her to talk to you. You know, you can't force her to be who she used to be or who you want her to be. Things have changed. Your friendship has changed. But that doesn't mean that your friendship is over. Living together, sharing a space, that's not easy. When we live with a person, we get to see so many different sides of them that we never knew existed. The good, the bad, the ugly, the messy. We either accept these newfound discoveries or get super annoyed by them, and that usually results in a bunch of arguments, even over the stupidest little things. You two were stuck in the same room for 2 months during those renovations. That's enough to mess with anyone's comfort zone, honey. Maybe your friendship for now has evolved more into a roommate situation. I think right now is difficult for you, seeing as that's the only person you know in that state. And you're so far away from home and all your friends and everything you know that this is just so new. When you move someplace and you only know one person, you tend to cling to that person, and you really don't realize how much you're doing it. And that makes the other person a bit claustrophobic, you know, because after a while they're spending so much time with you in the beginning that their friends will be like, well, where were you? Well, what are you doing? When are you coming out? And after a while, you feel imprisoned. You know, it can't feel all that comfortable. You know, some people get through it just fine, but other people don't deal with it so well. So, but something in the letter stuck out, um, and that is the ultimatum that you were given. And that ultimatum to where if you decided to move out, that you guys, that your friendship would be over. That she said it was either you stay living there or the friendship is over. Now, I view that as an ultimatum, that if you moved out, your friendship would be over. And that's odd considering she never speaks to you. So it makes me wonder if she's dependent on you for the rent and that's the only reason why she wants you there. And Ash, your thoughts and your experience?
So I have a slightly different perspective only because I was in the situation. Um, the relationship was very complicated, and she, we were really good friends on Second Life. And when she moved in, it became very stressful because we were sharing one room. Suddenly, we're like in each other's space all the time, and we're pushing each other's buttons, and it was very frustrating. And unfortunately, it ended the relationship because she was really like my sister. Like you said in your letter that she was like your sister. She was like my sister, and we were at each other's throats because we just didn't have any space. So, in my opinion, if you want to stay in the state, then you have to think about getting new friends. You have to think about expanding your circle from being just that one person, because you do have to have a life. If you're going to be there, make roots. But if you can't handle it and that's not what you want, and the only reason you're staying is your life and you should be living.
Yeah, that's exactly that. You can't just build your life around one person. You need to have other things. You know, make friends with people at work. You know, plan to go out and do certain things. You know, understand that, you know, you can't hang out every day. That eventually that can get tired, you know, expecting to hang out with the same person every day, especially if they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So many people get into long distance relationships and or they meet here, they carry on to real life, and the realization of living together kind of leaves them in that shock to where, oh wow, it finally happened. And at first it's great, but then after a while, your life has turned into someone else's. And they feel that. Your life has to be your own. Sure, you could share it with someone, but you can't just be all about that person all the time. You need other things. You need other hobbies. You need other interests. You know, don't text the person all the time. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do later? Blah, blah, blah. You know, sometimes you got to wait until they reach out to you. You know, you got to give that space. Without space, you're just going to suffocate.
Just keep in mind that ultimatum. Like, why is she asking you, or why is she telling you that if you leave, it's just going to end the friendship? Because either she... I don't know if you're, paying rent or whatever, but if she's doing it because it's rent money, maybe it is time to go. And if she's doing it because she does actually value the friendship and she's just in a weird space right now because she needs her. Right.
Yeah, I didn't like the ultimatum at all. I felt like that was a grab at, oh, I don't want to lose that rent money. And I can't help but think the worst of things like that, because why else would you want someone to stay living there that you don't even talk to or give the time of day? You know? It makes no sense to me.
I can only say from my situation that there came a point when it wasn't that I didn't want her there, it was just that I needed to not be right with her all the time anymore. And I almost completely because I was kind of just, I was over it. And it didn't mean I wanted her to leave, which it did happen that way because we just needed space more than we had. But for me, I didn't want her to leave because she was still my friend. I just needed to breathe for a second. So It could be that, but just definitely if you're paying rent and she's not talking to you for a long time, it might be.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and the other thing is there's always two sides to the story. You know? Did I cut my mic off again? Probably. I did. I cut it off. But what I was going to say is there's always two sides to the story. So we know.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get more information. And I tried to see if both girls wanted to come on and actually talk it out at one point. But then I thought that could be a bad situation. And one will feel attacked even though it's not meant to be an attack. But I didn't hear any more from the other girl that was supposed to give me more information on this situation. But yeah, there's always two sides to the story. So we know one side of the story. We still don't know the other side of the story. One day we might never know. But point of the story, boys and girls, is you need to give people space. Without space, people tend to suffocate. Then that's when relationships get a little bit damaged. And moving on to something else that I want to talk about.
Let's have this conversation.
But this is something that needs to be said. During the holidays, a little sweet child contacted me, asking me where her Christmas gift was and telling me that I was her grandmother. And when I asked her where she got this information, she said that she got it from a relative of hers that I'm supposedly related to. And that relative got it from another relative. And the domino effect goes on. So I'm going to say this. I love everybody. You know, one thing I take pride in is picking my own family. And that's something you can't do in real life. Because let's face it, there's so many sons of bitches you want to get rid of in real life that you're blood related to. But you can't, can you? You're going to see them at every reunion, every holiday, whatever. But here the beauty of Second Life is you get to pick your own family. I don't want it picked for me. I don't appreciate it being picked for me. If you do not hear directly from me that you are related to me, then chances are we are not related. Okay? And I don't appreciate being treated like a thing and not a person. Usually what that means is telling me who I'm related to or saying, oh, well, this is your new nephew or this is your new No. It doesn't work like that, honey. It doesn't work like that. You see this gray hair on my head and these tatas? I'm grown. I'm grown. Okay? You ask me. You don't tell me. So, next little person who thinks that we are related, ask me first. Don't tell me. But I really don't want to be treated like a thing and not a person. So this whole thing of people saying I'm related to them without me agreeing to anything and then getting mad at me because I can't make it to their parties or their thises or that, it's a lot of pressure. If so many people think that you're related to them, they're getting mad at you because you can't be everywhere at once and you never even agreed that you're related to them. That could turn into an anxiety-filled thing. That really can. You know? Honey?
It just takes over all your time.
It does. It does. And it's to where I'm fine with the size that my family is. Okay? Just because, let's say I'm related to Johnny, and Johnny has a cousin and aunt, whatever, that doesn't mean I'm related to them. Okay? Johnny's related to them. You know? Johnny could just be my relation, and his aunt and whoever, they ain't shit to me. It's just Johnny, you get it? So, other people's family trees do not bleed down to me, you know? And I'm not saying it to be mean, but there's been people recently who've given me some really nasty attitudes because they didn't hear from me for the holidays. And these are people that aren't even on my friends list, that I haven't even talked to. They expected...
How could they be upset if you haven't met them?
Amen. What you just said. Amen. Ding freaking dong. That's what I have to... Ding freaking dong.
I want to understand. just
Honey, I'm
like
me and I
get
don't
it.
understand, and this is supposedly about me. I don't understand. Look at my face. Look at my face. I look bothered. Look at my face. You see these wrinkles? They're new. They are new. This one's called Jeffrey. This is one called Joffrey. This is called Tina. This is called Faye. I'm naming all my new wrinkles. All of them. Okay? Because my face is bothered. Okay? So, it's...
I think people are applying real life rules to it a little bit, where it's like, okay, I had a baby, you're the grandmother of it, which I get, but also you gotta respect people's second life. You can't just presume things here because we are all adults. We are choosing to be family. It's not just like a given all the
yeah. And
especially not for gifts.
and I'm not wonderful to be related to. I'm really not. You can ask my grandson, Caleb. We've been related for over 6-7 years, okay? And this poor child, I don't know how he deals with me, because I'm always doing something. I'm always busy. Him and his blessed saint of a wife and Satan, their child. Yes, their child name is Satan, but she's a lot sweeter than what she sounds. So I don't know how they deal with me. You know, I try to get better, but sometimes you get social anxiety, you know, and you just sometimes you have the energy to do peopling, and other times you don't have the energy to do peopling, you know, and sometimes you want to be very, very social, but then when you go to do it, the energy that you had for it is gone. And then you think about all the adulting things that you have to do, like cleaning your house, getting your work done, all this other stuff. And before you know it, time passes. And it's that big gaps in between spending time with your family, which I need to fix. That's my big flaw. So, kiddos, it's not peaches and roses being related to me. Magical golden gates don't open from you somewhere. Valhalla doesn't appear. Unicorns don't come out of my anus in magical rainbows. You know, there's no story times every night and talking ings and baking cookies all the time. You know, I am an old fart of a person with no nipples.
I'm lucky because I'm exactly the same, and my kids they just let me do my thing because I always have a project. I'm always working on something, and it's like people think I'm gonna ask Ashley to be my mom, and I'm like, kiddo, you don't want that. You don't want this life.
Mm-hmm. And
I
that's
got
exactly
stuff to
why.
build.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it's not out of being mean. It's all right, think about it. It's not that people like us reject you. That's not what it is. We're responsible in the sense of we know our shortcomings. We know we're shit human beings. Pardon my French. We
But
know,
it's true.
yeah, we are honest with you and ourselves about our limitations, because if we were to adopt you and say, hey, yeah, I'll adopt you, whatever, and I'll read your stories, I'll take you on trips, I'll get you this and that, we'll watch movies, and none of it happens, how you gonna feel? Disappointed. So we're honest. We're gonna tell you that we're flawed. We're not perfect. We weren't made to be perfect, you know? And if we were to string people on and say, oh yeah, adopt everybody under the sun, a lot of people would be hurt. A lot of people. Because they're expecting role play all the time and all these nice family dinners and things like that. Which I do those things, but I don't get to do them all the time like I used to. You know?
Right, times are different now. I think Second Life is different in that way too. And I'm sure some people are shout outs to you guys. But I'm trying to build a store and like decorate a house and live a real life, and it gets busy.
It really does, you know. Everybody has their own projects and their own reasons for being here. And that's what other people have to keep. I swear I'm going to make a Second Life etiquette video. I swear. I'm so going to do that one day. I'm going to do that.
Second Life for Dummy videos.
Yeah, I am. Do not message someone as soon as they log in. Otherwise, they're going to ignore the crap out of you. Do not ask them what they're doing every day, every hour, when they just told you what they were doing. You know? That's annoying, I think. If somebody keeps on that, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? and like, I'm stabbing you in the neck with a Sharpie. You know, it's to where I think so many people are caught up on what they want their second life to be and how they want the people in their second life to be. They don't think about how other people want their second life to be. And a lot of people don't respect that because they feel that what they say should go. Like, other people really do say this. They're like, oh, because I said so. No, it's not because you said so. You could say that till you're blue in the face, but I'll do the complete opposite. You know? And somebody told me that the other day, it was, I forget, and sorry, I won't say your name, whoever you are, mister. But he goes, oh, you're my mom. And I'm like, who says? He says, because I said so. And I said, that don't work here. That don't work here. Are you supplying my pension? Yeah? What were you saying, Nash?
I said he tried it.
Yeah, he tried it. He tried it. He stuck his foot in it. That's what he did. Yeah, but it's sweet. Honestly, it's flattering to have people want to be related to you. But
yeah, let me not act ungrateful. I'm really grateful and I'm flattered because it. But it's also kind of, I feel bad. I feel bad telling people no.
So do I.
My worst thing.
I feel
I'm bad
awkward.
at telling people.
I feel awkward.
Yeah.
When it happens, it's never my intention to reject or to want to make someone feel rejected. But if I were to take on a new family member very unsincerely because you backed me in the corner, is that considered genuine? You know? It's approach. If you were to say, listen, you and I have been talking for a while and we get along like cake and paper plates, honey. You know, maybe we should be family. That's a different story. But if you talk to me for nothing but 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes, you just saw one of my videos, or you just saw me post a picture, and you want to be part of my family because of those things, those aren't the right reasons. Those aren't the right reasons. If you talk to me and there's that vibe that we get along, that we're like, you know, it's like we have so much in common that it's unbelievable. We're having a laughing good time and all this other stuff and talking for a bit. But if you know me for 2 seconds and you're like, oh, adopt me, that's not very sincere to me. That's not very sincere to me. You're not doing it because you know who I am and you know my personality and you care for me for those important reasons. You're doing it for face value because you think I'm going to be the second life granny that you want to have. You know?
And I guess I get it because you're kind of, I don't think I've ever met another second life grandma before. Like that plays in a character that's age appropriate for a grandmother. So it's kind of this special shiny thing like, oh wow, how cool, but still a person. Still have regular people feelings.
Amen.
And I think that gets lost sometimes in the idea of who you are as Granny Magnolia. Oh, she makes the videos.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. If I meet kids out there and let's say I'm doing a story time or one of them comes over to my house, I'll role play. I will put those cookies in the oven and I'll sit and I'll have a chat. Anybody who messages me, many people have seen my videos and messaged me, and I don't say, oh, go away. Never. I try, and if I get the message, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it. If you speak to me nicely and you're friendly, oh, honey, I'll talk your ear off. I will talk your ear off. And you and I could be the greatest of friends, you know. But that whole thing of trying to take ownership over a person and say, oh, mine, family, you know, out of nowhere without having conversations with somebody, it just seems very foreign to me. You know, I couldn't do that to someone. I've seen little kids as cute as pie and I never thought, oh, let me snatch them out. That's just weird, you know.
It is a little weird.
Yeah.
But though, you're gonna fall into this territory soon of if you're creating videos, people are gonna want to know you.
Oh, I don't mind if people message me, and that's exactly the thing. Message me, say hi. If you have any input or feedback about anything, or you have any questions, send me a message. I don't mind. But don't try and tell me what to do. You know, don't try and treat me like a thing and not a person. You know, don't try to make decisions for me, because those things will not be appreciated, and we won't be able to be good friends. You know, because my own kids, you don't do that to me, and Dora doesn't do that to me. You know, but shout out to Endora with her 6 billion kids. I'm looking for a baby daddy for her. I almost forgot to put that in there. He has to have a job. He can't be a whore, and he has to be
I had
snipped.
nothing to do with this.
Yeah, she had nothing to do with this. It's all me. And Dora's gonna kick the crap out of me later. But yeah. So it's yeah. Well, you're part. I don't have to worry about you. You got your kids and you got your home and whatnot. And Dora, I gotta chase. You know, the guys, they go after her, and I don't like them. I don't like them. But I can't tell her what to. She's grown. I could never tell her what to do. Whatever. She's grown. She makes good decisions. You know. But you better not have any more babies, because I can't afford any more for Christmas. Thank you. But yeah.
What you do is you stand on the porch with a frying pan. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, I
just
could get
clean
ready
your
to
frying
give them
pan.
a vasectomy with a frying pan. Is that possible? Can I whack it that far in that all his
I
sperm
hope-
gets afraid to reach the surface?
I hope any guy she brings home can run.
Yeah, if they could run fast enough. I got a little beat up pink car in my driveway. I will freaking find you. And watch, she'll send this to prospective mate, and they'll be like, that crazy old broad. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Granny has a certain set of skills, and she will find you.
I'm a ninja, baby. I'm a ninja. I can do this. But alrighty, let's call this a wrap here. And by the way, we had to redo this because Granny did a bunch of brain farts. Like about a billion, million, trillion, gazillion brain farts. My mouse was all over the screen. Part of the upper part was black or whatever. It looked like I had a beard of some kind. You know, and then my poor daughter, I saw part of her alpha going up to her chin. But yeah,
You didn't tell them your outfit yet.
Oh, this is true. This is true. This is true. I get so caught up in talking my ridiculous smack and trying to sell Endora to the richest man that I forget. Because that's just I forget. So today I'm wearing Clara style hair, and that's by Golden Years. Art director frames also by Golden Years. Chili earrings and necklace by Sinful. And my monokini and pants are by Pro Magic, which I'll link below. My fur is called Starlet, and that's by Moon Elixir. And my rings are by Kunglers. And I'm always... Why does that name sound like a bad word? Kunglers. It's unique. It's unique. I'm not sure if it means something in another language. If anybody knows, please let me know, because... Sometimes when I say certain words, they come out as bad words in other languages because my pronunciation is caca. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I love your faces. And once again, this is my daughter, Ash. And hello, grandbabies and everybody else. I love your faces. I'll see you soon.